Also tonight here on the news at 10, a Valley family says a pastor set them up. They claim their daughter was held for ransom in Mexico and say the pastor was in on it.
Tonight, our chief investigative reporter Morgan Lowe tracked him down in tonight's hidden camera investigation.
The border that separates Mexico from the United States can be a barren, dangerous place, especially for migrants and refugees planning to cross the border illegally. And that brings us to this man here in Phoenix. We'll call him the pastor.
¿Cómo conoció el pastor?
I first met him at church.
We agreed to disguise this woman's identity so she would tell us her story. She lives in the valley. Some of her family members are U.S. citizens. Some are undocumented. She says one daughter is still in Mexico and the family has saved up to bring her to the U.S. The pastor told them he could help.
Dice que él conoció un persona que puede traer alguien, gente para el norte.
Yes. He said they can cross a person, but they need a little money first. Well, not a little, but $3,000.
Now we're driving south toward the border to meet a man who knows the human smuggling business. He's a former coyote.
What's it like out there crossing somebody?
These people make the trek from deep south.
He then describes a process we have seen firsthand over 20 years of reporting on immigration. Immigrants arrive in a border town. A cab driver takes them to a smuggler hotel.
These hotels hold 20, 30 people in one room.
Another middleman sets up a meeting with an actual coyote, and they make a deal for cash.
Are there good coyotes and bad coyotes?
Oh yeah, well, back in the day, I would say there was more good coyotes than bad coyotes. But as the money increases, so does the greed, and along with the greed comes a lot of the violence.
They put her in a hotel room and they took her cell phone away.
This woman says the pastor's coyotes held her daughter for ransom.
They called me and said they needed $3,000 more because they now had my family member in California.
Pero en la verdad no.
That was not the truth. The whole time she was in Mexico at the border.
This to me is a prime example of someone abusing people who are in a vulnerable situation.
Ray Ibarra-Maldonado is an attorney who represents immigrants. He says victims in cases like this rarely go to the police. And while Border Patrol agents do arrest coyotes who are caught with migrants in the desert, they rarely go after the kingpins.
All they want is the easy catch, the easy prosecution, keep those numbers up. Looks like they're getting a lot of convictions, as opposed to doing real investigations and stopping the people who are profiting and abusing people.
¿Crees que este pastor ganan dinero de esto también?
Yes, I think he's making money off of this as well.
Now we want to talk to this pastor. Our producer leaves a note on his vehicle saying he wants to talk to him about some work. 2 days later, he agrees to meet the producer in a park.
Ando buscando gente que quiera trabajar.
At first, he doesn't talk about the smuggling business, but after some prodding, we get a big surprise when he mentions the woman who was held for ransom.
Okay, let's do it. I'll get out of the car first.
Now it's our turn to surprise him.
My name's Morgan Lowe and I work for CBS 5 News. Have you been setting up families to get ripped off in Mexico? ¿Usted no ganan dinero de eso?
No, nunca.
He tells us he never made a dime, and he insists he was only trying to help the family, but that it did not work out.
I
only put the family in touch with the contact, but after that, I don't know.
Was he in on it? We don't know. What we do know is this continues to happen along the border, and there is almost no risk for the bad guys.
The criminals can get quite brazen because they feel we're not going to get reported.
Okay, we don't want to minimize the fact that this family was victimized clearly, but weren't they also trying to break the law as well?
Absolutely, they were. But this is an example of this industry that exists to smuggle human beings, and it's taking place here in Phoenix, on the border and south of the border. And rarely do any of the kingpins, the people who are making the money off of it, get caught.
You've been covering this story for well over a decade. How many people often reach out to you about situations just like what we just saw?
Once in a while, but this one was unique because of the pastor, the so-called pastor involved.
All right, Morgan Lowe, thank you. We know we're going to be firing this up on social media. It'd be great to get our viewers' feedback on what they just saw. Solid reporting tonight, my friend. Thank you.